Okay, so let's hear from you. Who is your fourth person first, and then why would Wale not be qualified?
First of all,
he's a peer of Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. So why wouldn't he be qualified?
A much lesser skilled peer, with much lesser impact. Much lesser impact. Oh, a much lesser skill.
Wow.
First of all, I don't agree with the initial. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, let's state that first. I am unequivocally, I am a hip hop snob. And I do not apologize for it. Like, I represent the latter day church of fucking b-boys. Like I'm basically a Catholic when it comes to my hip hop opinions, and that's really where it begins. But first of all, I don't agree with the initial three. We talked about this in the previous episode. Like, Drake is not qualified to be on the Mount Rushmore of hip hop artists. I mean, period. Like, if there's a Mount Rushmore of Canadian R&B singers, sure, absolutely.
Man, Drake,
that's crazy.
It's crazy right now. It's crazy how he manages to fool everyone into calling him a quality MC when he's a Canadian R&B singer.
He's a hip hop artist, and you can't talk about hip hop in the
hip hop part. The hip hop part.
That sounds crazy.
I don't know about the hip hop part.
Everything before Views was undoubtedly, except Take Care, but most of that is hip hop. Pop influences, but it's mainly hip hop.
He is a mainstream illusion. Like, it's not real. He can't actually create quality music. Like, not as something that is hip hop.
6-minute intro. That's one of the best intros of the 2010s.
It's trash.
He got that song.
He should not be a part of the three. He should not be a part of the three.
Give us your four then. Give us your four.
So the four, I would say I would agree with Kendrick. I would agree with Cole, and then I would say Joey. And then the fourth spot, I would say that there are four people who are in contention for the fourth spot. None of them are Drake. Four people in contention for the fourth spot. Big Crit. I would say Tyler the Creator. In fact, I would say Tyler gets the fourth spot based off impact, based off skills, based off of quality albums and his movement. I would say Tyler deserves the fourth spot. And then honorable mentions are Big Crit. I would say Big Crit. Who's the dude? Who's the cat that was on the track with Eminem? He razzcast this. Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas deserves consideration. And then another person who deserves consideration outside of Big Crit and Joyner Lucas, and this is controversial. This is gonna flip everything on its head. But
you said Joyner Lucas is crazy. grossly underrated on his lyrical skill alone. I'm gonna say it, Logic at least deserves consideration. Because unlike Drake, he actually raps.
Fuck, what the fuck does he rap about?
I would take Logic.
It doesn't matter what you rap about. Do you rap good or not? But first of all, you have to rap in order to be considered one of the best rappers. Drake doesn't rap.
You brought up Tyler. Nah, what are we talking about? What's
Tyler? That's what I'm saying. What are we talking about?
Or are we talking about
this is my thing. But see, this is my thing with the whole. So I think there's something to what you're saying, Cam, about it's important to have a combination of quality impact and creativity that has ability to reach an audience beyond just it's just traditional hip hop. And with Travis Scott, like, he might have a popping album, but critically, no one is saying that it's quality. I think that's a really astute observation that I really respect. But the flip side of that to me is, what are we talking about when we say the word artistry and what we attach to that definition now? Because in the past, if you were kowtowing to the mainstream sound and you were purposely watering down and syruping up your quality just so that it could have radio play and crossover appeal for the pop for the pop media and music, if you were doing that intentionally, that was not considered a good thing. That was not considered a quality skill set. And now you're telling me that in this era, if you don't have that, you aren't considered for having something that is high quality or classic. If you don't kowtow somewhat to major, like that's what artistry is. Artistry is the ability to cross over. No, that is not the foundational tenets of hip hop. It's quality or it's not quality. It shouldn't matter whether mainstream is willing to sell it or not. Is it quality or not quality? And see, so we fall into the same trap that happened when our art form was commodified by mainstream white people to sell to white people. So you're saying that if someone doesn't have something in their musical formula that appeals to white kids, it's missing something? I emphatically disagree with that.
Go ahead, Cam.
Artistry's incorporation is how many different ideas, how many different sounds, how many different techniques you can weave together to make a cohesive project. I think when you look at something like To Pimp a Butterfly, it's strong jazz influences. You hear Robert Glasper all over it. You got, you know, George Clinton at the beginning and everything like that. But that artistry is the incorporation of all the different genres. It's not that you're trying to make something as extreme digestible as possible. It's not that you're trying to reach a large number of people. It's that you're influence, because everybody's influence now is nothing new under the sun, but how you take that influence and make a new product out of it. That's artistry. That's the idea that, like, For Your Eyes Only is not the first time a storytelling album has come out, but it's the way that he did it that influenced everything that came after. You hear something like Care For Me off of Saba, and that's a great album too, but that's heavily influenced, and that's artistry too. It's incorporation, and it's also the ability to be incorporated. It's okay, I heard this, and I can take pieces from this and make this. Denzel did that with Melt My Eyes. He heard Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. He said, that's an album of the year. That's one of the best of the 2010s. I'm gonna make that in 2022. And Robert Glasper helped him do that too. But yeah, artistry, it's incorporation, and it's the ability to be incorporated. That's my take.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
Ty Hill.